Hi everyone, I'm Sergio Day Trader, and today is Sunday, May 21st, 2023. We're here taking a look at the futures market. We just opened up about just a little over 15 minutes ago in the Globex session. So hoping to just capture some recap from last week, go over the open as far as Globex goes, and then just take a look at the fundamentals for the upcoming week and see what we can potentially take advantage of as far as setups go. Let's go ahead and start with the weekly chart here. This is just from a higher time frame perspective. We had a descending triangle or descending pennant going on, and typically a bullish pattern or a bullish play, if you will. And just last Thursday, Friday were the rally days for last week, and just completely blew this pattern out of the water, and then went for price discovery up to 4,200 and a bit more. We got a pretty nasty sell-off towards the end of Friday's session. Not quite back into last week's value area. We left our POC down here at 41.45. Interesting to see if we do come back into last week's value area. Do we come back and test this 41.50, see if there's business, or do we just stay up here around the 41.70s? Something to think about going forward. But yeah, last week completely set up the descending pennant here, and yeah, it was, if you took advantage of that, GG's. It was a good play, and it just worked out perfectly from the resistance up into you never really had a true test of the support, so it was hard to kind of gauge where the proper entry for this was. But you know, if you were a buyer at 41.50, you made some nice gains. Going over to the monthly charts. So we did test April highs. It seemed like we were on our way to test February highs over at 42.40 area, but we didn't quite. I think the rally just ran out of gas and really didn't have any legs to keep moving forward. So we do have a nice little setup right here where we can test the auction of 4,200. I ran out of gas to test true February highs. Came back into the prior resistance that I had marked up here for April 2023 highs. So we have a nice little breakout going on the monthly. The profile itself, though, pretty balanced or symmetrical, if you will. There's, we're putting ourselves in a pretty good seller's position if you were interested in becoming a seller here, and then obviously in the beginning of the month we saw excellent buying opportunities, and this is just according to the last month's profile. We kind of started off, we had seen early indications that this month was likely going to be an inside month, and second to last week of the month we finally see our breakout to the upside. So yeah, interested to see if how we move forward. There are going to be a couple questions to be asked of the market this week. Do buyers jump in on this and try to keep the rally going, or B, do buyers step out and just let this let price come back down to where it did most of its business for the month, so 41.30, 41.40 area. Yeah, it kind of puts the buyer in a tough position here. I wouldn't say that I'm not a buyer at 41.90. It's beginning with the buyers here at this stage of the month. Yeah. Okay, so that's the monthly. We kind of went over the weekly. For the daily, we're pretty much still in a complete balance, a high time frame balance. This is just highlighted in a intraday perspective. So this is pretty much the bracket that we've been, or the balance that we've been trading for the majority of the year. We've been trading these prices. We nearly tested the extremes last week. Like I mentioned, didn't quite make it there. We've been spending a lot of time on the bottom half of this balance here, so 41.80 to 41.19. So interested to see if, obviously there's been a lot of business done in these prices. Do we come back here? Do we fish for buyers and then just keep the sideways action going? But I like to refer to this balance just because it puts everything in perspective. We haven't really moved anywhere aside from late February when we had made that crazy sell-off, and then even for the majority of May we've been trading this bottom. I wasn't a buyer down here, so I really missed out on a lot of opportunities. Did want to mention though, last week I did not trade one single day as I was just caught up with some work obligations. But it's been a pretty boring market, so felt like I haven't really missed much. But yeah, really been biased on the short side, and I kind of just along with this time off, it's kind of just like recentered myself a little bit and come in with a neutral perspective. Obviously I wasn't gonna call Thursday Friday rally one because I definitely a skill issue there, but two, just because with the federal speaker, the president coming out and talking about the debt ceiling, it's just crazy time to be in the market. I'm glad I was off. It just helped me recenter myself, both from a buyer and a seller. So hoping to go into this week with at least some time, some practice time, and hopefully some good performances. So that is the daily in a larger time frame perspective. Like I mentioned, we just had a Globex open. So we had a open at 41.98. Is that correct? Oh no, we had a open at 41.89. Okay, cool. So open at 41.89. Let me put this price marker on here. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait, that's not the open. Oh, wrong candle, duh. Alright, cool. Alright, and then just going into last week's mechanical zones, we have the POC at 42.05 and the RTH high at 42.26. We're trading 41.95, so we're creeping back into Friday's value area. All right. Okay, cool. So we opened up at 41.89. Not too much to take from this. Obviously, we'll find out a little bit more as the London session opens up, and ultimately, when U.S. session opens, we'll at least get a solid vibe check Fed speakers coming up tomorrow. So Barkin and Bostic at 6:50. This is PST. We got Bueller speaking earlier than that at 4:30. Okay, that's pretty much it for. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. We got European bond action. We got consumer confidence in Korea. Japan bank stuff. Okay. Tuesday, a lot of European stuff. We got the global composite for the S&P. We got another Fed speaker. Red book. I'm not sure what the red book is. That's my first time seeing that, I feel like. England's got its inflation rate coming out tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, Tuesday. Wednesday. Oil shenanigans. Some mortgage, some housing sector stuff. FMOC. Sheesh. Deutschland has its consumer confidence. Interest rate in Korea. Interesting. All right. Thursday is a quiet day. And pretty big ones on Friday to close out an already crazy week. We have durable goods month over month, core PCE price index month over month, personal spending month over month. This is going to be a big one. These last two right here, personal spending and personal income month over month, are going to be heavy hitters on that Friday morning. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had to get that ready. That's it, right? There's Friday. Personal. Okay. I'll jot that down later. Okay, cool. So that's the news coming up for the week. Let's go ahead and just review the auction that's been taking place over the last week or so. Starting off with I'll come over May 18th, I believe. That was the beginning of the week. Or May 17th. Let's see. May 15th. Okay. All right, so you had a great bracketing market right here. A lot of time was spent in these prices here, and it's 41.30, 41.40. Market revisits these if we're able to hold as far as selling pressure goes. It's a great buying opportunity if we're able to hold this 41.30, 41.40 zone. So if we revisited the open of last week, it would kind of hint towards an acceptance of these greater than 4100 prices. So yeah, if we're able to gain some selling pressure and come back into last week's value area, then I think this creates a great situation for buyers. Friday overnight session, so perfect setup right here for a breakout on either side. And then we spent the morning session kind of playing around these prices, seeing if we were getting any acceptance, any rejection indicators. And then afternoon came about and just completely sold off. I really like the inside days on the overnight sessions, especially when most of the action is done within its first hour, and then it's just ping pong from there. Kind of sets the RTH session up really nicely. So a lot to do in the overnight session when it comes for my decision making. I want to. I don't want to get mixed up in the Fed stuff tomorrow, so probably good to trade after that if I do trade tomorrow. And then Wednesday, obviously, with the FMOC around the corner, I do not trade FMOC day. It's one of my rules. So just I feel as though there's some sentiment going that, well, I guess the sentiment here is that market has already priced in a halt. If something gets rescripted or something changes at the last minute, it could get pretty ugly pretty fast. So definitely gonna stay away from that day. But it sets up a pretty interesting Thursday, Friday, which typically those are the ones that I like to take advantage of. Post FMOC trading days, I guess, if you want to call them. Okay, cool. So I guess so potential plays. I don't really have any potential plays just because I haven't really been active participant. But what I would say is that I am going to lean on my weekly mechanical levels very heavily. And what I mean by that is the what I mentioned over here. Let me go ahead and bring this back up. So if we can test right here, so I have 4170, 4173 highlighted. This is something I particularly want to see a test of, whether we hold or break. That's ultimately what I'm going to act on, hopefully to the best of my abilities. Obviously the 4200 is a huge number, a huge psychological number. So if we trade up to that, again, it kind of brings up an interesting Monday, being that we're going to open up the week, FMOC week, on a major psychological level. It's going to be another crazy day it's going to be another crazy week in the markets for sure. Yeah, as far as potential plays, I don't have anything to really call out. Last week's value area, the monthly becoming a breakout month. So we did test April 23 highs. We did make a considerable amount of ground after that extreme had been broken. But as mentioned, we lost our legs getting towards that 4230 level. Interesting to see if we can hold this 4200, then kind of makes way for an argument that we are on our way to test February 2023 highs. I think we wrap this video up here. I hope you all gain some insight, or at least a good understanding of what we can look out for this week. Apologies for not having any potential plays, but I just don't feel right giving out any plays or any ideas generally, just due to the fact that I haven't really been participating in the market. Hope to change that this week. I hope this helps, at least for your personal setup or your personal prep. I will hopefully get around to making a video on any potential trades that I act on. Please feel free to drop any comments on what you guys are trading, what you guys are looking for. But that'll be it here. Again, my name is Sergio Day Trader. This was a weekly overview video of the US futures. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We can get this channel going. And until then, I wish you all guys a good trading week, positive results, and just overall. Take it off. See you later.